Hello and welcome to Minecraft. Minecraft Live has happened and the new update's been revealed. It's a combat and tinkering update. That's not the official name, but I've heard a lot of people call it that. So let's get straight into the update. And first up, you'll see Agnes walking down a corridor, which is made of tough blocks, the new tough blocks. They have all the different variants, like some chiseled one. There's the bricks, there's smooth ones you'll see later in the trailer. I'll point them out. And we're into the new trail ruins. The trail ruins, every time I say trail ruins, I think of Tales from Trails. Every time I'm like, oh yeah, the Tales of Trails ruins. I'm like, oh no, but it's a trial chamber. You know, it's actually a trial chamber. But I keep thinking of that every time. So if I accidentally call it the Tales of Trails at any point, that's why. And the first thing is this huge long corridor right here, full of all the new copper blocks. And I'll pause it, and you can actually see right here is one of the pots right here, and they just added so the pots will now have the ability to hold stuff in them, so you'll go into these places, like, destroy the pots as you're going through and getting new stuff. There's a whole bunch of new copper blocks as well. There's a new grate, which I'll show in a second, and some chiseled copper, and also the light source block, which I'll talk about later when they talk about it. There's so much stuff I'm like preemptively talking about this stuff, but yeah. But the grates, the cool thing about the grates is they're actually, from the April Fool's update. So when you're like, oh, the April Fool's update, they're doing all this stuff. Oh wait, before we talk about that, there's a trap right there. I'll rewind it and show you right here. Right here in the trailer, there's a trap right here. And there's traps all throughout these. So this would be like a desert temple or a jungle temple. It'll be traps. The new scaffolding sort of like copper grate blocks. They were, they were like at the end of the April Fool's update at the moon. You can actually like go on those. And yeah, it's been confirmed those are tough blocks. So yeah, they say at one point tough in the trailer. And I like that. I like this huge corridor here. So this is the huge corridor right here that Agnes says. This is the main sort of like corridor of the place, the trial. I'm gonna call it trial dungeon because I know it's called trial chambers. Yeah, trial chamber. So right here's the corridor, and the big corridor is actually like sort of like the main sort of room. And then there's like branching paths off of this. So there's like all the different rooms off of this room. You know, it looks like there's like multiple levels actually, which is pretty cool. Very, very cool. And there's so much stuff in this trailer. It's actually really cool. You know? And it's like procedurally generated, so it's like gonna be random each time. Hopefully, fingers crossed that they start adding sort of like the combat snapshot features. I wanna say it's likely, but don't say it's like hopeful. It's only a hopeful thing. Because like they've made it so that they're only gonna show stuff they've confirmed of working on right now. So this is all gonna be in the update. No matter what, this is all in the update. Which is really, really awesome. And right behind this guy right here is a copper door. They have copper doors, which is awesome. I just have all the copper stuff now and all the uses for copper. And now they're talking about the lights, the bulbs, the copper bulbs. It's an interesting name, bulb. That makes me feel like that you combine it with like a shroom light and not like glowstone. And the best part of this place is just the copper, the amount of copper in here. Like, people are like, oh, how do I get loads of aged copper really quickly? You just go in here and like mine it all, which is really awesome. There's the loot chest. They didn't show any of the loot chests. That makes me feel like either they've not decided on the loot, or they're gonna add something new to the loot. Sort of like Ancient Cities. Ancient Cities had like the standard loot, like a Charlie Garden apples and stuff like that. Rare chances and all those kind of things, and enchantment books and all the common stuff. But they also added like the echo shards, and like these random other like new music disc, all that kind of stuff feels like it would be good in there. It's actually sort of exciting not knowing what's coming. The only thing about that is I would really love to know the name of the update. I feel like knowing the name, like I understand why they got rid of the name because of the whole wild update controversy, but it'd be cool to have like a name to be like, oh, this is this update, and like know what it is from like concept, Because if this was like an end update, even if they said, oh, we're not going to call it the end update yet, we'd be like, oh, it's the end update. Everyone would call it the end update. What kind of, like, combo name could you call it? Like, Tinkering and Trials, there you go. The copper bulb's getting wax right here, which is really cool. And each level of wax removal of the copper bulb is really cool because it, like, increases the amount of light. So, at the max, it's like a full light block, and then when it's, like, the fully oxidized, it's, like, really dim. It really feels like they said, nostalgic and like old Minecraft where you're like exploring a dungeon for the first time, Like these spawners I'm about to show it right here. The trial spawner, here it is. This is like the thing, besides the autocrafter, which is like way later in the trailer, I'm not going to spoil it just yet. But this is the thing I'm like most hyped for. The trial spawner is like super hype. Like, it's really awesome. They explain it pretty well actually. But like, I'll tell you some other stuff. They've said it's like you shouldn't be mining these. If you want to mine it, like if you want to get rid of it because it's like in the way, it takes as long as to mine as a reinforced deep slate. So they're actually blast resistant, so that makes me feel like there'll be a creeper one. And like this one's a stray one, the stray skeletons, and you can tell it from the ice around it, which is pretty cool. That's another really cool thing about them as well, is they have like indicators of like what kind of spawner. Without like inside a spawner being a little guy in there, like you can see from a distance. Oh, this is a blue ice over there. That's a stray spawner. That's really cool, and it like tells you like, oh, this is a what kind of, like it tells you like, oh, just visually you instantly like, it's very good gameplay design. But because it's blast resistant and because it's like spawns after a cooldown, they can finally add like mobs they never do to spawners, like creepers and stuff. They're like, oh, we don't want to make a creeper spawner for whatever reason. I know they only have like zombie skeletons, spiders, and then like macro cubes and the nether, and then there's like the silverfish. There we go, silverfish. But yeah, you have like all those like special spawners. And now they can finally have like every mob. I say every mob, but like pretty much every mob can have its own spawner in here. Because you see later on there's like slimes and stuff, so it does seem like every mob. You get farms for like these random mobs, And it's really cool, like with the slime one that they show later. It's like, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Because slimes is like, you have to sort of farm to get like you want to get the slime balls to make like redstone contraptions and stuff. I don't know how the cooldown is, but here we are. The trial spawner has been won, and right here is the loot. The loot appears to be emeralds and diamonds, which is pretty crazy. Maybe depending on which spawner it is, they'll have like different loot. But right now, they've shown emeralds and diamonds, and they said they're not going to show anything that's not going to be in the end game. And they said this is renewable, and this means there's a diamond spawner. There's actually a diamond. There's like a diamond farm. You can actually make a diamond farm. So let's say you like mine the area around the spawner out, and you make like a simple like spawner farm, and all the mobs get flushed into like a killing chamber. You kill them with a sword. Like you can literally be there with a sword. AFK. They said they're not going to add random stuff in the trailers that's like not in the game. That's why they're not showing the chest loot, because they're like, if we show the chest loot has like ancient cities, like let's say the ancient cities have all the god apples in them, and let's say they like showed that off in the first trailer, but then they were like, oh, this is too OP, we're gonna have to get rid of them. People will be really angry, like, no, you can't get rid of my golden apples, So that could be a thing. They've shown the diamonds. They've shown them in the trailer, and it looks like there's renewable diamonds, which is really hype. That must mean these have a really long cooldown. It appears to only be one diamond, and they said the loot scales with the number of players. So, I'm guessing if you had like 10 players, it'd be 10 diamonds. And there has to be a cap. I feel like they said it like scales with more and more players, but like you can't rock up with like 100 players, on like a big server, and then get like 50, like 1,000 mobs spawn in. It would like literally crash. It would like crash the game. And it could have as a way to like boost your own. I know they said this somewhere. I remember seeing them saying this. I can't remember what it was, but they said they want to like look into upping your like combat, like your level, just you as like an individual to like be like if you had multiple players. Particles spawn out of the top, so you can tell it's off. I could definitely see this getting automated like really easily. And a cool thing as well, I was thinking as well, is you could literally have a person sit in a minecart, and you could literally like minecart you all the way around the trail ruins to every single one of them, to like a killing chamber in each room, and you literally just like kill the mobs, get the loot, and go around the whole thing. One thing that concerns me is they're in iron armor, and there might be harder rooms. They haven't like I want to like play it myself and like see. They are wearing like diamond boots and netherite boots, but they're unenchanted like iron armor with iron axes, which is like not like super high level. I'm gonna continue to play the video, but yeah, it's like very like, I don't want to say undergeared, but like if you rocked up here with like full netherite, fully maxed, like you're maxed out, will these places be like fun, Now we're going back to their village right here, where you can see more of the stairs of the tough, and you can see the tough walls and stuff right here, which is really awesome. You get a bunch of YouTubers and streamers and stuff talking to the people. Very cool. You can see the tough walls all around the village. Very awesome. You get all these random YouTubers and stuff, Very cool. If you like watch these people, you're like, no way, they're in the trailer. I like that, how they're sort of like adding the community a bit more. It's really cool. They're sort of showing off like, oh, here's how the copper can like integrate into like a village, I saw some people being like, oh, are they gonna add new copper villages? I was like, no, they did not say that at all. It's literally like, oh, this is our village. You can literally see a giant creeper head in the background that someone made, you know. This is obviously, you know, a town that someone made. But now here it is. The big thing is the auto crafting. Right here, the auto crafter. Huge. The auto crafter is huge for Minecraft, you know. I already hear people saying, like, oh, it's like modded. It's like modded. Yes, because like it's been on lots of mods, but like, when the second this gets added, it's gonna feel like it's not modded at all, and you'll be like, how do we do Minecraft without this? All the people who like have gold farms, and they're like trying to make gold blocks, you know, the amount of crafting they do, they spend like hours crafting, you know. Like, you know, you watch those like 100-day, 1,000-day hardcore worlds, and they like, oh, I was like crafting gold blocks for like 2-3 hours, you know, and that like, you know, that's just crazy amount of time they spent crafting, and like you can have your gold farm, and you have the nuggets turn into bars, and then the bars can go straight to a piglin bartering farm, like, you know, that's just crazy. That like level of like automation's crazy, and like for everything, like you can have like a spider farm, and all the spiders get turned into all the string gets turned into wool blocks, like, you know, and observers are like the big pain. Everyone's like, oh, observers with like the bow, and how like you have to craft like you literally have a skeleton farm, and you can literally have the skeleton bows that drop from the skeleton farm go into the observer farm that like literally like puts the observers, you know, it's crazy. It's gonna turn like farms like even raid farms where like you get emerald blocks, you know, just having it automatically crafted for like easy storage is just so nice, you know. It's like instead of having like a shulker box full of like 9 shulker boxes full of emeralds, you have 1 shulker box full of emerald blocks, and it's just done. There's no crafting, and you know, it's gonna be really nice. It's like really nice. And if you're not crafting that much stuff, you don't have to use it. I wonder how like rare the crafting table will be. It doesn't look like it uses any like crazy stuff like a beacon where it's like, you know, obsidian or anything like that. It does use redstone. It might use a new copper thing from the trial chambers, you know, to the creeper farm. Look, they have a creeper farm. Oh, look, they even show it in the trailer. There's a creeper farm right here with a creeper head and a sugarcane farm, and these connect together, and they're crafting rockets. They're literally crafting rockets right there. It's literally going to save so much time. Now the final thing is the new mini boss, which is the breeze, which looks really cool. It's like a little blaze. It's like a blaze, but like a wind blaze. They've not confirmed any other mobs, but I'm hoping there'll be like 1 or 2 more mobs. I'm like really hoping. And this is also where you see the slime spawner. You can see it in the background. You see another chest in here as well. And in this room, there's actually 3 spawners in this room. There's actually the breeze spawner, there's a stray spawner, and a slime spawner. So this is like the big boss room. And the breeze does appear to be like a boss. It does appear to be like a proper like boss, you know, which is really hype. And I'm guessing if you had like 10 players rock up in here, it would spawn like 3 breezes or 4 breezes, because like we have 2 players, and it might count 3 players because there's another guy like standing off to the side, maybe making it a bit harder. That's another troll. You can like just like walk in there and like troll your friends by making the fight harder, you know, having them there. But the really cool thing about it is you can like interact with redstone. It can like move trapdoors up and down. It can turn on redstone lamps. There's also a dispenser in the background that shoots out arrows, and they can hit that as well. So the whole room is actually like fighting against you once the breeze starts hitting you with the air attacks, which is really cool. So the air attacks do damage when they hit you. It's really its mob looks really cool. It's sort of like a wither in a sort of way. It feels like a wither. It like bounces around, which is really cool. And it's supposed to be like a floaty air bouncy mob. It just like floats around and like bounces. You can see it bouncing a lot. I don't see. Like it literally launch. Oh, yo, you see that? It literally launched a player right back up 2 block gap. There's a 2 block tall wall here. It launches them up like 3 blocks. That's crazy. But yeah, there's a slime spawner right there. See that? Right there on the slime spawner. There is a copper bar on it, which is pretty cool. So there's a copper bar on the slime spawner. Spawners actually have not just diamonds and emeralds. It's also copper and like probably iron and gold. So that's really cool to get like all the ores from these like spawners, which would be a really cool way to farm them. It'd be also a way to like actually get all of them. Yeah, the breeze is interesting. Like its ability to like touch redstone stuff and like interact with it, sort of like how the copper golem was supposed to do that. is really awesome. I really hope they add the copper golem in here, because this is like the copper golem like building. It feels like it so much, you know. The breeze, I wonder how much health it has. It appears to be a mini boss. It appears to spawn from a spawner. So after you beat it, like will spawn another one every, you know, it'll spawn another one after you've defeated it after a certain cooldown. And I'm sure like its spawner, it should drop more loot. It should definitely drop more loot from like its spawner when you defeat that, because it's supposed to be like the boss of the dungeon, you know. Like if I can destroy if I defeat some random slimes or strays and they drop me, you know, a diamond and like a couple of emeralds, and then I defeat the boss mob of the dungeon and it drops like, you know, a diamond and a couple of emeralds, I'll be like, no. From what I see, it looks like a really big structure. It looks like if it's either as big as the ancient city or like bigger. And if it's bigger, that's crazy, because ancient cities are like so big, like massive, you know. They should just add more of like breezes and blazes, you know. If they had like a water one that shoots water and it's like literally the same thing but recolored, I'd be happy with that. I feel like this thing that Minecraft should do, because they seem to only be adding like one mob and then the one or two mobs, maybe three, and then the mob vote mob. You know, like last update was literally just the camel and the sniffer. That's one mob. And I feel like the reason like I'm just one mob is like when it was like villager pillage, when it was like villagers, you have like 20 villager types, and but it's one mob, but it feels like there's 20 villagers. When you have like the piglins, you have the piglins, but you also have like the piglin brutes, and the piglin brutes are just like a different version of piglins, but they're still like they feel like another mob. They're like, oh, they're another thing. So if you had like the breeze, and then you had the water, you know. And then you had like a fire one. I know the blaze, because they couldn't really do a fire one because the blaze is a fire one. But you had that. Then you had another one, recolored like different versions of them. That's speculation. It's not going to be in the update. I'm just saying that'd be cool stuff to add. I'd like to see that kind of stuff. I'd like to see like I just hope it's challenging, you know, because they're just rocking up with like iron armor, and it just makes me feel like it's not going to be challenging. And now the final thing is the dog won the update. I say the dog. No, it's the armadillo. The armadillo won the mob vote. Because the dog armor is something that people just wanted forever. And even if it's just like the one version of dog armor with the armadillo, and it like doubles the dog's health in like where it would take half the damage. That's what I'm trying to say. If it took half the damage, it would basically make a dog survive a bit better. Even if it was like that, even if that was like the worst outcome, you know, you got like like it did like barely anything. It would still be a cool customization thing as well. Because like dogs need customization. Hopefully they look at the dog and go, wait, we got like 9 variants of cat, and we even did a vote to get Scar's cat in the game. Like, you know, it's so cool that Scar's cat is in the game. Literally Jelly's in the game. It's amazing. But yeah, they should do that with dogs. So, you know, it'd be really awesome to get like all the dog variants in the game and have like these retextured dogs. You know, be very, very cool. And that's why I think it won, because it was just like, you know, the people for the 10 years, like however long the dog's been in the game, being like, add dog armor, stop the mob vote. Man, they should have added all 3 mobs. I'm gonna say it. I've seen all the YouTubers like, oh, no, the people are so ungrateful. Like, no, man, we're not ungrateful. It's they have really cool ideas, and we want all the ideas in the game. You know, that's what it is. That's what it is. And that's all of the Microfly features added in this right here, this video. It's been very cool. Lots of really awesome stuff. I'm really excited to like try this out in the snapshots. And Agnes literally said it's going to be coming out in a few weeks. So in a few weeks' time, I'm going to be doing all the snapshot videos. I'm going to be playing through all the trial dungeons. I'm going to go through them with like different armor sets to see how like challenging it really is. I want to like properly like go through them. Normally I don't play the snapshots too much. I like just go in creative mode and like explore them and do stuff. But I really want to like actually like go through them in survival and really like see how like challenging it is. And I hope you'll enjoy this episode of Minecraft Live 2023 like reaction, discussion, talking about all the stuff. Thank you for watching this video. God bless you all, and goodbye.